take 2, even though it just looks like take 1, but take 2 of our knowledge check number 1. So what we're doing today is we are calculating the mean and the mode for some sets of data. So looking at number 1, we have number 1a. To calculate the mean, we need to take all of those numbers, we need to add them up, and then divide by the total amount of numbers that there are. So starting in 1a, let's add up the 2 plus the 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12. That should give us 46. We take our 46, we divide it by how many numbers there are, which are 6 numbers. So divide by 6 should give us 6.57. Not quite done yet because it does ask us to round to the nearest whole number. And what is 6.57 closer to? Is it closer to a 6 or is it closer to a 7? Well, it's closer to a 6 because this number here is above 5. Or sorry, closer to a 7 because this number here is above 5. So we round up to 7. That is our nearest whole number. B. We have 133, or sorry, I was reading to you what they all add up to be. We have 24 plus 34 plus 44 plus 31 added up together give us 133. There was 4 numbers there that we added up, so we have to divide by 4. That should give us 33.25. Our closest whole number to 33.25 is 33 for your second mark. C. This time we have 9 different numbers. So we start by, to find our mean, to find our average, we add those all up. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 should give us 45. There's 9 numbers, so we divide by 9. 45 divided by 9 should give us 5. It is already a whole number, no need to round. And last one, D. We have 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16 plus 20 plus 24 gives us a total of 84. There is 6 numbers there, so we're going to divide that total by 6, and our answer should be 14. So our mean, our average for D was 14. So these answers here, they are all your means, they are all your averages for number 1. Number 1 is out of 4. Pause that video there for a sec if you'd like to take a look through. Number 2. Starting with A, we are asked to find the mode for each set of data. And if we remember what the mode is, it is the number that is occurring the most in a set of data. So in 2A, what number do we see there the most? The number that pops up there the most is the number 3 because we see it 4 times. We see it more than we see any other number. So 2A is 3. 2B, what number pops up there the most for us? What is our mode? Number that pops up the most is 45. We see that number 3 times. We see it more than any other number. In C, this one's a little bit different. This time there is 2 modes. Yes, you can definitely have 2 different modes. Your 2 modes here are 143 and 534. Why there's 2 modes is that we see both of those numbers twice. We see them more than any other number, but not more than each other. So then, therefore, we have 2 modes. If you only put 1, give yourself a half a mark there. And in D, a little bit different again. We analyze that set of data. We look at the 70, the 73, 74, 72, 71, 76, 75, and 77. And I just read all those out. Did I repeat any numbers? No, I did not. So there is no mode. There is no number that is reoccurring. We don't see a number more than once. So therefore, there is no mode. Total of number 2 is out of 4. Pause that video if you'd like to take an extended look. And number 3. We're going to start with 3A. we are asked to find our mean. So I'm going to put that up top, just remembering we're asked to calculate our mean, which is our average. So if we are looking for that average, remember we need to add up all the numbers and divide by however many numbers there are. So the question is analyzing a baseball team. It's more of a real world scenario. Some people might actually use this information for a team's type setting. So we have 7 players on the Bobville Baseball Buzzards. What a name. We should maybe have the Grand Prairie Baseball Buzzards. Be quite the name. Right now I think they're the Reds. So we have the Bobville Baseball Buzzards. There's 7 players on the team. They also have some unique names. We have green, brown, white, black, rose, silver, and gold. Great names. 7 players, Bobville Buzzards. Here we go. So calculating the mean with this set of data, we're going to start with games played. So games played, we're going to analyze that set of data. We're also going to analyze, we're going to look at hits, and we're going to look at strikeouts. So looking at the set of data, we want to kind of go down that list. We want to go down the column vertically because that's kind of how this is set up, how this table is set up. So we have green, that player's played 104 games. Brown has played 107 games. White has played 89 games, and so on. So the first part here, games played, is asking us to calculate the average, the mean number of games played per player. So we're going to add up all the games played. We'd go 104 plus 107 plus 89 plus 39 plus 23 plus 22 plus 17. That should give us a total of 401. Now I need to divide that by something. I'm going to divide that by the total amount of numbers that I just added up. And that's the total amount of players. So there are 7 players on the team, so I'm going to divide this total by 7. 401 divided by 7 should give me 57 decimal 2. It asked me to round to my nearest whole number. My nearest whole number to 57 decimal 2 is 57. So 1 mark there for calculating your mean, your average for games played of 57. If you didn't round to the nearest whole number, you just got to here, give yourself a half a mark. Hits. What was the average, the mean number of hits on this team? So add up all your hits. 129 plus 129 plus 71 plus 17 plus 17 plus 11 plus 17. What do all those hits added up give us? They give us 391. What do we divide that number by to calculate our mean? Well, we divide it by 7 because there are 7 numbers we just added up. There are 7 players on the team. 391 divided by 7 is 55 decimal 8. We want to round that to the nearest whole number. This 8, what does that do? It's above 5, so it bumps this one up. It's closer to 56 than it is closer to 55. So this number rounds up to a 56. So the mean, the average number of hits is 56. And last one are strikes. We want to find the mean, the average number of strikeouts on this team. So add all those up, 90 plus 60 plus 62, and so on, adding up that strikeout column, give us a total of 250. Divide that by 7 because there's 7 players on this team. There's 7 numbers we added up. Total should be 35 decimal 7, which rounds to 36. So 36 total strikeouts for your third mark. So 3 marks there for 3A. Pause that there if you'd like to have a longer look. (3B), we're going to look at the mode. So then the number that is occurring the most. So I have, once again, games played. We have our hits. And we have strikeouts. So looking at our games played, looking down that column, is there a number that occurs there the most? The 104, 107, 89, 39. If I'm looking down it, I don't see a number that occurs more than once. They all happen the same amount of times, so for games played, there is no mode. There's your first mark. For hits, I look down that column. What number of hits occurs the most? Well, we see 17 occurs 3 times. So 17 is your mode for hits. And then your third mark comes from strikeouts. What is your mode for strikeouts? Looking down that list, I see that the number 10 pops up twice, more than any other number. So my mode for strikeouts is 10. There's your third mark for part B. So far, number 3 has been out of 6 marks. You get your 7 mark for answering question C. And this one's a little bit different. It tries to get you to actually analyze the data. Why this unit is called data analysis. So a baseball team would actually have stats kind of like this. They would look at them and they would say, okay, well, who's playing the best right now based on what we just looked at? So what I would look at personally, I'd say to myself, okay, earlier in the question, I analyzed that our average, our mean number of hits, if we go back to 3A, in hits was 56. If I look at the amount of hits that Green and Brown have had, they have had 129 hits compared to the average number of hits is 56. So they have had way more hits. Yes, they've played more games, but they still had way more hits. So I'm going to kind of be right now between Green and Brown in my mind. I then look, they're about the same amount of games played. Must be a good player if they're getting in every game. They've had the same amount of hits, but player Brown has had less strikeouts. So by analyzing this data, I would say that player Brown is the best on the team. They've played more games really than anyone else. They've had more hits, but yet they've had less strikeouts than player Green. So 1 mark for player Brown. I will, though, give you a mark if you can kind of explain to me your own reasoning why you thought maybe there's a player that was better than player Brown after you analyze the data. So if you want to send me a private comment to maybe get that extra mark if you didn't have Brown, please do that. I do look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, tomorrow we're going to move on to talking about some median and range, and we also have our Zoom meeting at 1 o'clock. So thanks for being here today, guys. Thanks for marking this. Thanks for going over it. Remember, you can make a comment with your mark in the comments below, or you can also send me a private comment. It's out of 15 total. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.